Kirti, let's kind of go back. I mean, I know we had a conversation, gosh, was it about 3 or 4 months ago?
Yeah, I think we started in Jan.
I know.
Jan is when we started.
Yeah, yeah, and you reached out to me because you saw my article in Vegconomist,
Yeah,
and yeah, just let's start from the beginning. Just tell me a little more, or tell me more, or retell me, I should say, about your story. Like, how did you go about moving towards this whole food, plant-based lifestyle?
sure. So my story actually started after my daughter's birth, and till then it was like, okay, how the life moves, and I was working, and then finally after her birth, I took a break, and I was suffering from all these problems, which are called as normal problems or basic problems of headache, constipation. Then I got tested, and I saw that I have high cholesterol, and weight was one thing. That post pregnancy weight was just 75 kgs, and I really wanted to lose that. And I was trying to find out things, did some exercise, lost 1 or 2 kgs here and there. But finally, I started researching about this thing, like going through all the articles, that how do you really lose weight. And I got to know that there is something called as whole food plant based lifestyle. And of course, so then I started reading about it, found few people who are practitioners, and who have changed their lifestyle, and I actually switched completely to this particular lifestyle. So I am basically from a family where dairy is loved, and we were born and brought up in dairy, and I've been consuming it from almost past 30 years of my life. I just consumed enough dairy, and this constipation problem was a constant thing in my life. So that's when I made a switch, I instantly started losing weight. That was like, a miracle. I could never imagine losing weight like that. And if anything like that works, then I'm like, okay, I'm sticking to this. I better not eat that, because it's just not helping me. And all these other problems like headache and constipation, I used to wear specs. Believe me, now I just don't feel the need of that. Eyesight is still not too much, but then what I feel that I don't get headaches, so I feel pretty comfortable every single day. And so that is how my journey started, and I started exploring more and more, and now I'm moving towards something called as nature cure. I'm reading a lot about it, and within few months I have attended few camps which talk about what nature cure is, and reading a lot about it. And it's like such a divine science to know about that, and there's so much to know about. So I'm just right now exploring that. So yeah, my journey started around 3.5 years back when she was born, and I was searching how to lose weight. That's something which everybody wants to know after after delivering a baby.
Absolutely. So when you made the switch, did you have a hard time? Like, were you like, "Ooh, maybe I should transition and maybe just eat less," or it sounded like it was kind of a quick cutover, like you just said, "Nope, I'm going to do it," and then you just kind of ripped the band-aid off, so to speak. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think so. In that case, I would, appreciate myself that I have very strong willpower. If anything just works for me, I will stick to that. So, 1 week, I was told that, okay, try, don't take dairy and see the difference. And within a week, when I lost that 1 kg, that itself was a motivation for me to, just leave that completely. Of course, I used to go back because I really crave for coffee at times. And I just feel like drinking that coffee with even though I don't drink too much, but when I make that, I just get that aroma and I feel like drinking. But then I know the consequences, and because of that, I will never switch to that. So now I'm trying to find alternatives to make coffee using coconut milk and all that. So it was actually a transition, a cut-off kind of thing, that okay, one fine day you realize this is not working and I better not go back.
Yeah. So how did your family react? I mean, dairy is obviously a part of, your culture and everything. What was your family's reaction when you made this change?
The family was like, okay, you do what you want to do. And there was insist, because the food which is made for the whole family will have dairy in some way or the other. So I started becoming very choosy and picky to pick one thing, and then it was a kind of struggle. But again, like, moment they see the result, then everybody in fact started switching. So my in-laws have switched, not completely, but yeah, they have started including more plant-based diet, and they have reduced the dairy part. So we don't eat meat as such. So our major drawback, or obstacle, was this dairy only. So now we have this cottage cheese, which is like a weekly affair. If there is anything very happening in the house, then you have to have a dish which has cottage cheese. It is meat for vegetarians, or the delicacy for us. And but after seeing changes in me, that quantity has reduced in the house, and everybody is trying to find new ways to make dishes. And I'm the one who experiments all the new dishes and then give it to them. And when they taste it, they like it. So I think the whole family has started changing. And I believe that till the whole family doesn't come with you together, it's really hard, because you have to make different kind of foods. But luckily, I am lucky in that way, and people are changing. So this is a nice change which is happening in the whole family. And especially after seeing the results which I have shown. And that speaks. Basically, I don't have to speak in words. The results are showing.
Yeah. So how much did you end up losing?
I lost 27 kgs of weight.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
like a huge thing, that, I was 75 when she was born, and here and there I was losing 1 kg, again gaining back. But that was like, okay, you are losing, you are gaining back. But the thing was, these problems which were occurring every single day. I can't live with that headache every single day when you have a kid. And I just don't feel like eating medicine. And then again, this constipation. And also, I wanted to find a solution for that rather than the weight loss. Weight loss became just a side product of what I was doing. And when you get compliments in and around your, office, and then everybody starts noticing you. And now people are like, oh, you're really losing too much. You should not lose that much. So weight loss and all that is basically just a sign of you are becoming healthier. So that's the thing, that when I lost 27 kgs, actually now it's, I think 46 or 48 kgs is what my weight now. So that's a big
Wow.
time change, and I just love it the way it is.
Yeah. So for the viewers who are listening in the United States who are used to pounds, that works out to almost 60 pounds you lost.
Yes,
59 and a half pounds. That's quite a
yes.
bit of weight on
Yeah.
just changing your diet. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's just the diet change, because when it comes to workout, let me honestly tell you, I from the time I have started following this nature cure, I realized that walking in fresh air makes more difference, because it's considered as one of the foods as per nature cure than in the gym. So somehow I just don't like the idea of going into the gym and doing workout. So I will just walk or run outside. And nowadays, because of the situation, I'm actually not even going out and walking, and all I'm doing is just cleaning the house. And it's the workout is done. And yeah, it's my diet which is just making so much change, and I'm not gaining weight, even though I'm not doing all these workouts right now. From past 15 days, I haven't stepped out from my house. So in this situation, I think the diet plays maximum role.
Yeah, yeah. I interviewed Dr. Furman, and he talked a lot about the importance of diet in terms of having a healthy immune system.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so yeah. And so also, yeah, the walking outside is interesting because it would seem that there would be kind of a meditative, like mental health benefit, but
Yes,
also with the sunshine and the skin temperature, you're able to make vitamin D or
correct. Yeah,
synthesize
yeah.
vitamin D, which is important.
Yeah. So I'll add one point here actually. I told that I'm a Nature Cure follower. So in Nature Cure, we believe in 5 kind of foods. One food is ether or the space. Second is sunlight, then air, then water, and the fifth one is basically earth or the plants which we are eating, and basically what is produced from earth. So these 5 foods, if they are part of your lifestyle or if they are part of you, then you will remain healthy. So try to focus on getting all these 5 aspects rather than just focusing on diet. So when I walk, my sunlight and air, fresh air is taken care, and then when I drink water, which is again a glass of water which I'm consuming, so I'm taking care of water part, and then the food part is taken because I'm taking care by eating plant-based lifestyle diet and the plant-based meal. And the fifth part, that is ether, which is considered as the most subtlest form of food in Nature Cure, which is nothing but fasting or giving a space in your system or your body. So now I have started practicing this, and I fast every Saturday basically, because that's the time when you don't go out. It's a weekend, so you don't go out and work. So that if I am feeling little, what to say, weak or restless, so I can lie down. But it has now become a practice. I give a break to my body once a week, and it really works wonderfully. All these problems, the small problems like cold and cough and things like that, they just vanish if you're fasting. In fact, people ask that, is it okay to ask kids to fast? I have made my daughter fast, who is 5.5-year-old, when she had this cold and cough. All I had to do was put her on just juices and fruits one day, and within few days, her cold and cough was gone. So no medicines, and this is working perfectly fine for the family.
Yeah. So how does your fast work? Is it, do you eat dinner then, and then you don't eat again until dinner the next day, or
Yes.
what's the
Yes.
time? Okay.
Yeah, so it starts like Friday evening. I'll have early dinner around 5 p.m. Or 6 p.m. max, and then I'll stop eating. The next day, which is morning breakfast, is skipping that breakfast, and then lunch I will skip. And if I am feeling thirsty, so I don't have to gulp so much water, considering that oh, today I'm fasting, so I will drink a lot of water. No, the water intake is only that much that is required to quench my thirst. Otherwise I'm just exerting pressure on my kidneys to flush it out. So only that much is needed. And around 7 o'clock, around 4 o'clock is when I break my fast, and with tender coconut water, which is the simplest thing to drink, and it is not too much sugary. So I'll just break my fast with that. And around 6-7 o'clock is what I will make basically something called as khichdi in India, and it's basically a mix of rice and dal traditionally. But now I make this khichdi of millets, which is basically a sattvic khichdi, which I have learned through this Nature Cure, which is basically millets are non-alkaline food, non-acidic food. So they are they are helping you to break your fast, and they are not producing acids in your body. So these are the simple tips which I have learned, and this is how I fast. And from next day again, it's normal fruit and vegetables and the meals which I eat. So this is how I fast now every single Saturday.
Great. And I know you've sent me a few recipes. Is that recipe included in what you sent me, the khichdi?
I think no, I will just share that recipe. I was doing this in my previous workshop, which was on millets. I conducted how to make a sattvic khichdi. Now, this word sattvic is very beautiful, and we have a scripture called as Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure a lot of people would know about it, where Krishna gives whole lot of information about how to live in a world. And so there are 3 kind of foods basically, as per Ayurveda, or even as per Nature Cure, that sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. So when we say sattvic food, basically we concentrate on cleansing food and alkaline foods, which are basically helping you to clean your system. So when I make this khichdi, I don't put onion or garlic, and I put a lot of veggies in that with greens. So there will be one portion of millets. Now millets again are alkaline, and they're not acid forming. And then 5 portions of vegetable, like your beans and carrot and peas, whatever is in the season, and with one bunch of green, basically 1 portion of green. And I will cook it without any spices and without oil. That's the most beautiful thing, that you don't need oil for all these things. And then put in the end, I'll just put one meat, little bit of coconut, and that's it. The recipe is done, and it tastes amazingly well. Because what I felt after eating all these things, that when we eat our normal meals, we just kill it with the spices, and we put a lot of spices in that, and we don't appreciate the food as such, which is being provided by nature, be it your fruits and vegetables or be it your grains. But making this kind of food has helped me to appreciate each and every food. And I can now eat raw pumpkin like that, or even eat carrots, pumpkin, anything. You give me anything, I can eat. So people say you have become a cow, but that's maybe the cow is more blessed than us to enjoy every food, rather than we eating all kind of foods, mixing everything, and finally just killing with the spices. End of the day, we just taste salt, lemon, some amount of oil and fat. That's it. That's what we are tasting in our food. So I have started tasting actual vegetables and fruits by making food like this.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I have a friend that introduced me to Kitchery, and I had never heard of it before, and he was telling me how good it is for your digestive system, or how gentle it is on your digestive system.
Yes. It
Yeah.
is. It is very, and it's a comfort food when you don't feel like making anything. Here in India, we just make khichdi and our life is sorted. It's like a one-pot meal. You dump in all the things, and your khichdi will be ready in just 5-10 minutes, and you can eat it.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great. So you made this change in 2017, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And so you've gotten these amazing results, and you just feel so inspired to share it with a lot of people. Tell me more about, what you're doing with KuKClean.
Okay, so yeah, when 2017 they started showing results. So first thing was, I realized that instead of just talking about it, I better work on myself. And then my when I stand in front of people, they will accept the fact that something has worked for her. And that's when I started KuKClean in 2018, and I started experimenting with the Facebook page basically, and a Facebook group to start with. And I started sharing these things, and then I moved to doing these corporate workshops. And that's when I started searching, does this plant-based lifestyle really work in corporates? Will people listen to this thing? Or because there are a lot of people who just can't leave their meat. So to build my model, I started researching about, is somewhere in part of the world some corporates are following. And that's when I landed up on your article. And I found that, and I have read your book, and I have just picked out all those stats, which was so wonderful, that corporates have accepted this fact that it is working. So more and more should be introduced. And that's how I started KuKClean, where now I'm conducting all the corporate workshops, talking about whole food plant-based diet and lifestyle. And then I am doing these, now I have started online workshops for people in India and outside India, because of the situations. And also, like, it's much easy to connect. And now I'm publishing my recipes, to different places. Like, I would be sharing one with you. One of the societies in New Zealand have contacted me to share my recipes, so I'll be doing that. And it's like spreading the message of what is eating right, how you can make simple meals, and how you can live a much better life by following this lifestyle. So my major focus is again on changing the corporates, and especially corporate employees. How do they think, and how they can live life on this with the practical applications and economy part of it, because sometimes most of the people think that, oh, when you switch to plant-based diet, it's very expensive, and to cook the food is very time consuming. So I design these recipes which I call them as lazy and sustainable recipes. Basically, they are lazy because it will just take 5 minutes of your time, and they are sustainable because these are not those fancy recipes which you can only eat in a restaurant, but these are the recipes which are very, very doable in your kitchen. So people just love it. Like, instead of hummus, I'll make beetroot hummus. So now you're adding beetroot and you have the chickpeas. And this combination is much more healthier than the normal hummus which you eat. So yeah, I do things like these now. So I'm just promoting all of this through KuKClean.
Awesome. So as far as different companies, how many different companies or how many different employee groups have you been able to reach with your message in your workshops?
Okay, so I have done 2 workshops with one of the MNCs here, 24/7. Then I'm right now collaborating with a company called as Be Better India, and I'm doing workshops with them back to back. Like this whole week is going to be online workshops, and then there are few more companies where I'm collaborating with, and I'm working and I'm talking to them. Most of these companies either they believe in this concept or they are trying to explore it. So yeah, I'm trying to reach most of them to give out this message, and they are accepting it. So there are a few talks going in, and because of this thing, everything kind of stopped. But yeah, I'm hoping once the condition changes and the things are better, I'll be just doing and conducting those workshops.
Yeah. So have you found the employees to be very receptive to your message, or do you feel like you're having to convince them?
So it's a mixed response which you get. People who are on the verge of that, okay, I have to change, and something is not working. I just feel that they are just like me. Few people who believe that, oh, it's something is missing and something is not working, and I need to find out a solution. They just come running to me with all their problems. Okay, how do I make? Like one of them asked me, I love coffee, but now when you have said that dairy is not good, what do I do? So I gave her a solution how to make that, and so these kind of people will come rushing. And there are people who are who love me, and they come and they ask me, Kirti, I'm convinced with you what you are saying, but you know what, I can't leave that. So what do I do? Then I have to give them recipes. Like I just gave a jackfruit recipe. Basically it gives you a taste and texture of what to say, meat and mutton. So I just told them that, why don't you try this recipe? It will give you the same taste and texture, and you will be eating plant-based diet. So this kind of response is what I get. The best was when I did this baking class and baking workshop, and where we used whole wheat flour, and there was no dairy, and it was tasting exactly the same way as you make a cake with eggs and basically dairy. They were surprised. So all of them were asking me twice, is it really there is no egg, no dairy in that, and can you be sure of that? I said, yeah, I showed you how to make this, and this is the exactly same recipe which I have used to make this. So this is the kind of response which I get when I conduct these classes.
So is it optional for employees to sign up for it, or are they kind of given a mandate that they have to attend?
Oh, in corporates, it's mandated because, the whole idea is to spread the message and let people feel it. So that's the beauty that, the HRs whom I am interacting with now, the department is really supportive in that way. Because if the, people or the heads, they start accepting this fact, they just want to give a try. Okay, so I remember one of our HR heads who said, Kirti, I am a meat eater, but I get your concept and I see that this has importance. So you give a shot, and maybe you help me change. So that was very, very positive for me. And the best part was that he actually, on a personal level, introduced me to his wife, saying that why don't you just find out how she makes things, and I want to switch, but still I can't switch. So that was a very beautiful response which I got. And it looks like the HRs are appreciating that thing, and they want to bring the change, because the amount of cost which is spent in the medical and the problems which all the employees are facing, like the concept of presentism and absentism, that people are, even though they are present, they are struggling with these small problems every single day, so that they are not able to be as productive as they should be. So I think the corporates are accepting this fact, and the fact that people are approaching me for doing these workshops is giving me more motivation that this concept will work.
So
Yeah.
for a company that might be interested in your program, kind of walk me through how you go about it, and then the duration of the program, and about how many participants are usually involved.
Okay, so how I go about it, first approach is to reach out to the company's heads and basically the HR department, and then I will share my details, what exactly I am doing, and then basically I do talk about that how I have transformed, and I think that's the basic USP or the selling point, that see, I have transformed. Sometimes, in fact, I take both the pictures, like this is before and this is after. So this is the transformation which has happened to me, along with internal things, and few of them, because I was training manager working at AIG, so I have connects with them, and few through friends and colleagues I have got these workshops, and then then the whole idea is that I convince them, and then I just say, give me a chance to prove that this works. And recipes, then what I do basically is then when I conduct a workshop, it's not just the talk. I will conduct the whole cooking workshop basically, because till you don't eat that food, you will not believe. So it's my job that I make them taste this food and make them realize that it tastes very good, and you can give a try. And when they come up with all these questions, all I have to say them is just give a shot. Just give 15 days, give your body a chance to try. You have been eating meat from so many years. You can give one try to your system for just 15 days. And if you see a change, and I feel that within a week, you will see a change. If you lose that 1 kg of weight, that itself is a motivation. So I have taught most of them, one, I will make them eat that food and share all the recipes and show them how to make that food, because recipes are there on internet, but if you don't show them how to make, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm just not used to it, and I'll make my basic stuff. And then usually my participants range from 100 to 200. At the max, I have taught 200 people sitting in one place, and I will show all the recipes. Will involve few of them so that they get the hang of it. So from around 100 to 200 people is what I target in every workshop which I conduct at corporate.
So is it a one-day event, or is it like a 2-hour event, or a week-long event? What's the duration typically that you're involved?
Okay, so what I have done basically, I have given two kind of programs. One is, just as a teaser, okay, you just want to experience it. That is a 2-hour program which I conduct. Basically, I call it as a la carte, programs, just like how you take one dish in the restaurant. So this is one teaser or a 2-hour session which you can take and enjoy it, where I make few basic recipes. Now, if the corporates are convinced and if they want more to happen, then I run a full-fledged program, which is a 4-week program. So every week, once a week, I will go there and conduct a workshop of 4 hours where I will be talking about one particular topic. So like starting from, how you can transit to a plant-based diet, why you should be eating raw meals, and how do you make raw meals interesting, and then things about fasting. And fasting, along with fasting, there is exercise, meditation, because whole food plant-based diet is one part of the whole food plant-based lifestyle. And now I want to focus on the whole lifestyle. It's not just the diet. Of course, 80% of it is what diet works, but there are other aspects, which is your spirituality, and which is your basically meditation and exercise and sleep. So I give a talk on that also, and I get in all the experts who are experts in that. So my expertise lies in organizing the whole thing and conducting the cooking workshop. Then there are experts who would be coming to do all the other things. So it's usually a 4-week program. Each session is of 4 hours, and we touch base different aspects in each of these sessions.
Okay, so is it 4 hours a day for a week, or is it 4 hours total throughout the week?
No, in one day we'll just take 4 hours and we'll conduct it. And sometimes it changes because if the corporates are asking, we can't give that much time. So then we divide it to 2 hours, and we try to pull in all the important information in those 2 hours, and we try to conduct for 4 weeks. Also, the reason is what I feel that that when I conduct my program, the first time when you conduct, or maybe the first session which I conduct, people have a lot of questions, and if we don't go back to answer them in my next session, then they get lost and people go back to the same thing. So it is very important for me to continue that, and that is the reason I have created this Facebook group where I ask all the corporate employees and everyone to join that, because when we keep posting recipes, this is a way for me to connect with them on every single day. I go live, I post recipes. So even if you're wanting to lose that track, we pull you back to the track. So that is one thing that, after the workshop, you need enough motivation to be on this lifestyle till it becomes a habit for you. So, so that is the thing that I try to make it 4-week sessions so that people can come back and ask me questions. That is the thing that I want to do it for 4 weeks most of the time.
Yeah, yeah. And what I love about your Facebook group too, it really does foster that community. And what I notice is that you get a lot of engagement from different people. So it's not, just you posting, you've got other people posting, other people sharing. So you've got really good engagement. About how many people are a part of this Facebook group at this point?
So there are 3,200 people as of now, and we are very picky in picking up the people and approving their post. Approving them to be part of the group, and we don't want to just anybody randomly joining it, because somewhere people have to first believe in this concept, and then yes, we support you, because we don't want people who completely do not believe and then finally they create that they start saying that the group is not helping them. So right now we have 3,200 people in the group, and everybody engages, and there's a lot of engagement because whatever they are making, we say that whatever small thing you are doing to your health, just share it with us. If you're eating a fruit, just show it. We don't care how the food photography is. We don't care what background it is, or stuff like that. All we want to know that, okay, you are eating this. When you eat this, and the beautiful part about the group is, nobody appreciates about what you are eating, and which is the most important thing, because if you handle what you are eating, you are automatically becoming all right. So we appreciate that. Even if somebody is posting a picture saying that I'm eating a banana or apple today, all of us will just go and say, wow, you're doing a great job. So it's like a motivation for them to continue this journey, and then the recipes keep coming and everybody is learning. And there are so many questions. For 21 days, which is a lockdown here, I'm going live every single day, trying to explain. And then there are so many questions which come up. So I think that's the beauty of the group, and that's really helping people to make a plate level change. So like we say, root level change, I'm trying to make a plate level change at that. I don't talk too much fancy, but if somebody's putting a salad on its plate one day also, I think KuKClean has done its work.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love this. I love what you're doing too. So for those who are watching this video, what advice would you have for them in terms of taking control of their health?
I think again the diet. So one, they can, of course, they can connect with me on my group, because anybody can join who has interest in this thing. And I am there literally 24/7, or somebody or the other is there to, help you out if you come up with the questions. So like the name of the group is KUK, because, cook, every time it's COKK, but it's KUKCLEAN. And if people join that, we are more than happy to help. And the most important message which goes from my side is, of course, whole food, plant-based lifestyle is basically a lifestyle, not just the diet or not just the food, but food playing the major role. We have to first work on what we are eating and what we are putting on our plate and what we are consuming. If we start changing that, it starts reflecting. And then we start moving to different aspects, which also involves your exercise, your sleep, and the most important one is spirituality and fasting. So these are the 5 aspects on which I'm working right now. Fasting is now inculcated in me very easily, but spirituality and meditation is still little far, and I'm trying to get the hang of that also. But yeah, I think the lifestyle has to change. It's not just one aspect which you have to take care of, and we have to move in that direction. Accept it or not, there has to be a change which has to be made. So if we accept it earlier, it's good for our health and, for our whole family also. Because if you change, and one other thing which I see in the group is people asking, oh, my family will not change. No, you stop worrying about your family first. Can you change? If you change, your family will automatically change. Like a rice which I eat, or the kind of things which I make, they'll say my family will not eat. I think the first is you are not accepting that fact. So you start accepting it, the family will automatically change. So that's the biggest advice I would give. Please don't advise anybody anything. You change yourself, because that's what I did. I did not ask my, my extended family or my immediate family to change. They saw things and now they are changing it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Kirti, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. I love what you're doing. I will include links to the Facebook group and to your website, so
Yeah,
people can reach out to you if they have questions or want to connect with you.
sure.
But I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you, as well as connecting, and reading your book was one eye opener. In fact, reading your book gave me a motivation that this works and I better, continue doing this job of getting into corporates, and I will get work there, because I think working on my venture, your book has really helped me. So I will continue to work on my venture because of your book.